Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel on human design. Today I want to look at the struggle for purpose and in particular the channel of struggle, because it shows us certain things about that channel when I go into it, but also about those of you that don't have it. So what I'm trying to say is not everybody is here to struggle for purpose, but then there are those, and I'm one of them, that are here to struggle for purpose. And it usually begins with the sense that life isn't of purpose. When I was at school, one of the things I hated the most was exams. I mean, I've got to answer a question designed by someone else from a completely different perspective, who wants me to struggle with finding the answer to their question, which was very meaningless to me. To prove yourself, at the end of the day, you pass or you fail, you prove yourself, you move up this ridiculous ladder of what they call education, which doesn't really align you to yourself. So when we come to the channel of struggle, we come to something that is necessarily part of one's life, that you do have to struggle for the purpose when you can perceive it. But as I said, it starts usually with the sense that there is no purpose, with the sense that life is meaningless. There is suicide within this channel at different frequencies. If life isn't of purpose, then what is the point? But if life is of purpose, if you find something, if you align to something, then that splenic awareness opens up in you with all the tingles and all the and it's that awareness of what is worthwhile for you that makes this channel so extraordinary. The awareness is backed by the fighter in the 38th gate. Now, the 38th gate can be quite aggressive if you get in the way of their purpose, because after all, this is the meaning of life for them, to be tied to that journey. No matter what it takes, there will be obstacles to encounter if you have this channel. There has to be. We have the risk taker in the 28th gate, that awareness in the spleen that will let you know whether or not you're on purpose or not. But if you are, then the obstacles need to be overcome, whatever it takes. So when you see people with the channel of struggle in them, and they may be struggling with things that you think, well, maybe we should help them, they may not want you to interfere with them. It is the struggle for individual purpose. This isn't purpose to be shared with other people. That is a secondary thing for them. It is mainly for them to find their own purpose through fighting for it, through overcoming the obstacles. And when they do, wow, what a sense of well-being that comes. It is a channel that moves from the root to the spleen, and the spleen is all about well-being. It's the vitality, part of the vitality of life too. When you're involved in a worthy struggle, it's really enlivening. Yes, if it's impossible for most people, well, that's not going to get in your way. So we have this pressure, this adrenalized pressure to find purpose and to be locked into that purpose and to fulfill it in some way. Now, for those of you who are generators, it will be to do something. You'll actually be actively involved. For those that have struggled but don't have a sacral, think about where it's leading to. It pushes upward towards the 5720. So it's about the expression of knowing, the expression of the awareness of clarity in the 57, to be able to cut through everything and just make that statement that no one else has made, that original statement, to bring out something new. But at the root to splenic level, this is really being in the moment, being in it. It is individual. Everything in individual circuitry is about being in the moment. So it can be an awareness in a moment that changes the whole life. that opens you up to your purpose that you didn't know before. You either know or you don't know. But when you know, everything changes. When I had an epiphany on the tour in Glastonbury to do a holistic magazine, it was one moment of awareness. You know, someone came up and asked me a question. And in the answer to that question, I realized the purpose was right in front of me and I'd never seen it. And that took me into a 20-year journey of a lot of struggles to start something with no backing, to start something with no experience. It didn't matter. It doesn't matter. If you're on purpose, that's all that matters, because you will overcome what's in front of you, because you kind of have to. Not to is to turn your back on your own life. So it's an extraordinary channel. What it's there for is to find what is purposeful for you, to be in the awareness of that. Where it goes wrong is when people end up struggling with the petty things in life. You know, the losing of the keys and the distractions over there and this person and that person, and it all gets sidetracked. And then people struggle without purpose. And I see that a lot as well. So it has to be of purpose. And if you've got struggle and you're struggling with a lot of things that aren't of purpose for you, then it's time for a change. You know, keep looking. That sense that something is missing is there to guide you into what is truly there for you. Two more things to bear in mind about this channel. It is a projected channel. And people can see the strugglers. You know, if you're a struggler, you recognize another struggler. And if you don't, there will be this like, what the hell are you doing? Why bother? You've got to understand that in their struggle, if you recognize that they're in their struggle, you can be very empowering to them, which gives them more impetus to do even more, to overcome whatever it is that they're into. When you go, wow, I don't know how you do it, you know, yes, I'm doing it, I'm in it. So the recognition quality of this is also important if you have people with the channel of struggle in your life. You know, if they're really going for something, you can see they're totally in it, even if it seems to be crazy. If you notice that, if you say something about that, if you empower them into it, you'll see what happens. You shift them to another gear, you help them in that way. They don't want your support. They don't want your interference, but to recognize that they're involved in something that is worthwhile for them is very important, or can be very helpful. I say they don't necessarily need it, because this is also a channel where they will fight alone if necessary. This is a very stubborn channel. These people are the most stubborn people in the world, and as I said, I know I'm one of them. If there's nothing or no help around, well, okay, then I'll do it alone. Okay, that's okay. In fact, in a way, it's kind of better sometimes, because then you can be totally in it. That adrenal energy to deal in the moment with whatever it is incredibly powerful in and of itself. So to all you strugglers out there, I have only one thing to say to you: go for it. For those of you who want to know more about your chart, there is a free report in the descriptions below that you can just download. And if you've enjoyed this video, please like and share and do subscribe. That would be very useful. And I'll be back again very soon with something completely different. Bye for now.